In this video, I'm going to talk through the 3 stages of scaling an email marketing agency. And by the end of this video, what you are going to have is a roadmap. And that roadmap is going to provide you with a way to escape the current phase that you are currently in. Okay? So without further ado, what I'm going to do is go over phase 1. All right? And this might be particularly pertinent if this is you stuck in this phase. All right? And hopefully it's not. Okay? So phase 1 is the agency owner who's saying, I'm working for free to get case studies. And these are the guys that do not have the confidence that they think they need in order to go out into the marketplace to actually sell and pitch email marketing services and get paid in return for doing that work. So what these guys think is that it's going to be much easier to close clients if they go out into the marketplace with an offer that is practically free. But what these guys don't understand is that actually to have an offer like this, you're still going to have to spend some sort of money every single month to sustain yourself. Okay, so maybe it's a Go High level account, or maybe it's your monthly expenditure, or Google Workspace, whatever it might be. You're going to have to spend some money, even though it's just you and the company. Okay. And what these guys stuck in phase 1 don't realize is that most e-commerce brands out there in the global marketplace don't actually want to work with a company that doesn't charge for their services. It's just a huge red flag for them. Okay. So if you go out into the market, you might think, well, I'm inexperienced. I don't know what I'm doing. So I'll just work for free for a brand. But what you're not realizing is that, okay, yes, you're not charging them, a financial amount for the work that you're doing, but they're still having to give you something of theirs. Okay. They're still exposing themselves to risk as a result of engaging with you as an agency. So, and if you haven't got the confidence to charge for what you're doing, it's not going to give the brand any sort of, good judgment or confidence that you're not going to cause any errors in what you're doing. Okay. So you're going to get access to all of their accounts. They're going to give you private, sensitive information, and they've got to trust you with that. Okay. So the guys stuck in phase 1, like this guy here, they will typically have, no clients, okay? And what they will be doing at this point is trying to get clients and going out into the marketplace with a free performance-based offer, or, I'll work for free if you give me a testimonial. And really what these guys are doing and setting themselves up for is at best project-based work. So once they maybe do get a testimonial, which you don't need in order to actually get new clients and charge for the work that you're doing, what these guys realize is that actually they've set their value so low, their perceived value in the marketplace and their positioning is so low and so devalued that it's going to be very difficult and nigh on impossible to actually close a new client where they get paid what they deserve to get paid, whether that's $3K a month or $8K up front for a build. Okay, so these guys really resume their life just going forward in the confines of project-based work, where they're only really able to charge $500 or such, $1,000, $750 per one-off project. Okay, so in phase 1, typically it will just be one individual. This individual will be using free tools because they can't afford to use anything else. And they're so, chaotic in their mind when it comes to actually what they need to spend on, that they just don't spend on anything. Okay, so they do the designs themselves on Canva. They write the copy themselves. They set up the flows themselves. Everything they do is through a free account. They're not using Slack or anything that they have to pay for. And ultimately what it leads to is just a low grade quality of work and clients being unhappy. Okay. The one good thing with this phase is that the profit margins are high. Okay. But what we're going to talk about in phase 2 and phase 3, profit margins aren't necessarily, the end all be all when it comes to scaling a successful agency. So what's the next phase? Phase 2. Okay. So phase 2 is the, what I call the I'm stressed and I'm losing my hair, I'm going bald phase. All right. And this phase is basically where you've got some sort of service market fit. Okay, you've maybe been in the industry a while. You've on and off had a handful of clients. Maybe you've got 1 client at the moment, or you've got 5 or 6, whatever it might be. The range can be slightly large, but typically you're not able to charge any of those clients anything more than kind of 1K to a maximum of 2.5K per month for your services. And if you're stuck in phase 2, what you'll also be struggling with is the fact that it's almost impossible on this old school retainer model to actually close clients on anything more than a 90-day term. Okay, so you as an agency, you think, oh, that's great, I'm going to get $1,000 per month or $2,000 per month per client. But what you're finding in this phase is that it's actually almost impossible to get those clients on any sort of plan that gives you any sort of projected, security. Okay, so maybe it's a 30-day rolling contract, or a 60-day contract, or a 90-day max contract. Okay, so the target in this phase, really, if you are stuck here, is to increase the lifetime value of your clients and to decrease churn. Okay, so you want to make more money from your clients, so you want them to pay, every single month, you more and more and more, and you also don't want them to leave. Okay, so you don't want them to get to the end of the 90 days or the 60 days, cancel their contracts, and you've lost all your projected cash flow, and then really your cost of acquiring that client, whether you spent money on ads or just spent money on outreach tools or just your time simply, is going to all be lost. Okay, so revenue in this phase can see a slight range. Okay, so all of the guys that enroll in our Ecom Email Accelerator, I'll drop a link below if you want to check out details of that, the done for you build that will deliver for you over the next 24 hours if you like what you see. There's a range of kind of incomes. Okay, so on the low end, it might be that you've got a couple of clients, or one client, you're making $2,000 per month, or maybe you've got 5, 6, 7, 8 clients, you're billing them, $1,000 per month, or $1,200, or maybe you're billing them, $700 per month plus a 5% commission, whatever it might be. Typically, we see guys in phase 2 get stuck around that $20,000 per month mark, okay? Now, bearing in mind, to get to this level of scale with this traditional retainer-based model, you're going to need a team, okay? So you're going to need people to be client-facing. You're going to have account managers. You're going to need graphic designers, junior and senior, and you're going to have to pay them for the emails that they are designing. The chances are, unless you are doing it yourself, you're going to need a implementer or somebody who could at least write copy, and then you're going to need some sort of technical expert. Okay, unless you've had 10, 20 years of experience in email marketing, deliverability, whatever it might be, there's going to be times where you have to lean on technical experts to fix problems that you don't know how to solve. Okay, so in this phase, guys will typically be using all of the similar tools, so Klaviyo, but this is where they'll start to integrate more tools in favor of trying to scale the business, okay? So they'll use ClickUp for their internal project management, but also, for the external kind of scope action items that clients can check in with and see where you're at in each given month. Okay, you're going to pay for a Slack account, your Google Drive is going to get bigger, you're going to have DocuSign, you're going to go back and forth on contracts, redlining agreements, making amends for, difficult clients, markup, and other similar tools that are relevant to e-commerce email marketing, okay? So quite quickly, your costs start to add up. Now, these costs that I put here aren't conservative, okay? They're really just to reflect the fact that when you run an agency like this, what's called your variable costs, basically have no cap, okay? So these variable costs are things like your hiring fees, having account managers. The more clients you have, the more account managers you're going to need, okay? And when it gets to this point with your agency, what you'll start to see is your profit margins start to drop dramatically, okay? So you'll basically start to layer. You have more staff, more clients, more staff, more moving parts, more tools, more messages, more calls, and in this case, more doesn't equal more, okay? More equals less, okay? So your profit margins take a hit, and eventually at the end of the day, you come out of it, with not a lot of money in your pocket, but a whole lot of stress, okay? And that's why this poor chap's going bald, all right? Now I'm going to show you an alternative way, okay? And I'm going to show you this way very quickly so we can get this video in under 10 minutes. Now the alternative way here, I'm going to change the color of my pen to blue, if this will let me, is phase 3. Okay, so when you enter phase 3, this is who you are going to become. Okay, the ultimate Chad. All right, and that's who you want to be. In phase 3, what we say in this phase is, I'm not going to lift a single finger for service delivery until I get paid, and until actually I've collected that cash and it's physically in my bank account. And the way that we achieve that is by, instead of positioning ourselves as a commoditized, traditional retainer-based agency that a lot of brands just simply don't trust and don't want to work with, we position ourselves as a expert technical consultant and partner to the brand, whereby we will basically build out everything they need from a retention marketing point of view, including their email and SMS. We will build that out in 24 hours, which is our USP as an agency. It might be for you 48 hours or 5 days or 7 days, whatever it might be, whatever you're comfortable with. And what you will get, client, at the end of the day is a whole system, a holistic system that will future-proof your brand, okay? So you can take the system, run with it, and you don't have to pay us a single penny going forward, okay? Now, in order to deploy this, our costs are very, very low. Okay, so what we need and what we have in our agency is what we call a Klaviyo full stack implementer. And the full stack implementer does basically everything other than graphic design, where we have a junior designer and a senior designer, okay, depending on the level of complexity of design that the specific client requires, okay? Now, I've got other videos on the channel about how we hire for our agency, so go back in my channel, pause this video, and go through the free email agency course that I've got on YouTube if you want more information on that. But the point I'm trying to drive home here is that in order to actually make a lot more money, you actually don't need a lot of clients, and your cost can be very low, okay? So I came across this model a few years back when I was basically stuck in this phase here, where I was struggling to scale the agency, and I'd simply just fallen out of love with the business model. In fact, it got to the stage where I had kind of negatively conditioned myself to not want to close new clients, because I knew every new client that I brought on ramped up my variable costs. It meant I had to hire quickly. It meant that I had more fires to put out every single day. It meant that getting up out of bed actually became difficult. And I just thought, if this is the agency life, it doesn't matter the amount of money I'm making. I don't want it. It's too stressful. Okay. So that's why I pivoted. And this is why I pivoted specifically to deploying infrastructure builds upfront for our clients. And again, I've got a number of different videos on the channel that talk to you and show you specifically how we are able to also secure projected ongoing cash flow security on the back end once we've front loaded a load of trust, once we've over delivered on the infrastructure build, and ultimately delivered to our clients what all the other agencies in the marketplace oftentimes will promise yet fail to deliver within a 6, 7 to 9, 12-month period. We do it overnight, and what we are able to do off the back end is basically leverage that trust and then get clients on retainers almost 99% of the time. Okay, so this is the model that's going to take you to the next level of income. Okay, it's going to create fewer headaches for you. You're going to have less stress, less team members, less tech, and a higher profit margin. Okay, so if we hark back to phase 1 here, okay, you've got a high profit margin, but you're not making any money. Okay, whereas in phase 3, if you get to this Chad level status, you're going to be making a lot of money, life-changing money. Okay, and you're going to have a hugely and vastly greater profit margin than if you try and subscribe to the traditional retainer-based agency model. All right. So hopefully, guys, this has given you just a top-level view of how you can surpass these stages, how you can basically go from phase 1, escape phase 1, quickly move on to phase 2, and then quickly escape the chaos of phase 2 and move into the serenity of phase 3. All right. So if you've got any questions about this this specific model and you haven't seen my other videos, feel free to drop a comment below. If you haven't already, I was checking my my stats on the channel. Most of you guys that watch these videos aren't subscribed. So if you got value from this video, please do consider subscribing. It means the world to me. Also helps the channel grow. And yeah, hopefully this has helped just give you some more secret sauce that will help you scale your agency, implement the the actions that I've told you in this video. And like I say, drop a comment below to let me know how you got on. And I'll see you in the next one. All right, cheers.